Welcome into an at-home edition of Colts Talk. Billy Beebe with you, and we are at home breaking Colts news that we just got both from Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport of NFL Network. The Colts have found a trade partner for linebacker Zaire Franklin. That is right. They are sending Zaire Franklin to the Green Bay Packers in exchange, as of right now, for Colby Wooden. The details kind of coming in just a little bit. At first, we didn't know what the Colts were getting, but they are now getting a younger defensive tackle in Colby Wooden from the Green Bay Packers. Zaire Franklin, the longtime captain, veteran, leader, call it whatever you want to call it, for the Colts, he is headed to Green Bay. He was the NFL's leading tackler in 2024. I had him on my cut candidate list for the Indianapolis Colts. I thought it was time. I definitely saw a move coming. We got the report from Adam Schefter yesterday that the Colts were in search of a trade partner. So the deal there was essentially the Colts were looking to recoup some value and not just cut Zaire Franklin, which would have saved them about $5 million. Instead, they will trade him to Green Bay and not take the $8 million cap hit of keeping him or saving the $5 by cutting him. I mean, there's a lot of details here, but essentially, you move Zaire Franklin and you get something back, right? That is what has happened for the Indianapolis Colts in this trade. Before we get into more details of why the Colts did this, a little more about Colby Wooden and kind of getting more thoughts from you guys in general. First things first, grade the trade. Zaire Franklin headed to the Packers. Colby Wooden headed to the Indianapolis Colts. A, B, C, D, or F. Grade the trade for us down below. Again, A, B, C, D, or F. Now, one thing to note when talking about this trade and getting into this is NFL free agency begins Monday, and right now the Colts are $4 million over the salary cap. Before this trade, I should say. Before the trade, they're $4 million over the salary cap, right? That is going to be a motivation for them doing any move. Especially with giving Daniel Jones almost $4 million with the transition tag. They now really have to make cost-cutting moves to be any sort of player in free agency. And that is before we're even talking about trying to get Alec Pierce to stay or anything else involved with the Colts. So why are they trying to get rid of Zaire Franklin, a guy that led the NFL in tackles in 2024, was a captain for them in the past few years, is basically a longtime Colt, right? He was going into his 9th season. He was going to be 30 years old, established veteran, so on and so forth. I'm sure Shane Steichen isn't overly happy about this. Got to start shedding that money. Okay? Got to start making moves to be a player in free agency. You're $4 million over. Ironically, this move is probably going to take you exactly 4 under the salary cap. It's going to get you back to be a player in the game. So that is like the main point I will make with any Zaire Franklin trade. You shed the money and you get something back. That's where I think they're at with this in general. Instead of just cutting Zaire Franklin, getting nothing, barely getting under the salary cap, they trade him. And this should put them under the salary cap. We'll check for those details and get them to you guys more as it goes on. This is a cost-cutting trade. It's exactly what it was. There's not much more to read into it as far as like drama or Franklin strongly fell off, wasn't a good player anymore. No, they had to cut costs. They had to be ready for NFL free agency on Monday, so they get rid of Zaire Franklin to do that. Now, I know the other question is, who is Colby Wooden, the player the Colts got back in this trade from the Green Bay Packers? What I will say about this is Wooden is 25 years old, 3 seasons in the NFL right now. Last year, he played every game for the Packers, 17 games played there. 50 tackles, 6 tackles for loss. Just seems like he's a gap jammer, right? He's taking up 2 guys at a time. I looked at his PFF grades. I'm going to be honest, not overly impressive PFF grades. I think he's just going to be a body for them at defensive tackle. And look, both of these moves, the move in general in this trade, goes back to what Chris Ballard said, is the defense wants to get younger and faster. Zaire Franklin does not make you younger and faster at linebacker, and then you take a look at Wooden, and that makes you younger and faster at defensive tackle. So you get rid of an older player, bring in a younger player, not the same position, but you kind of make that swap in general. So Wooden, I'm not going to act like this is a game breaker for them. We're going to learn more about him, I'm sure, over time. We're going to talk more about him over time. The biggest thing is the Colts got something back in this trade, and that's from NFL Network's Ian Rappaport. He reports that the trade involves Colby Wooden to the Indianapolis Colts, and it is a little bit of an ironic point because I actually feel like the Colts are okay at defensive tackle, with DeForest Buckner and some other guys that they've got, Grover, and I don't know, they're kind of reshaping that room a little bit in general as well, but they add Colby Wooden, and again, younger, faster, right? That's what Chris Ballard talked about doing for the defense. Franklin doesn't make you younger and faster, and Wooden does make you younger and faster. You kind of have Buckner and Grover Stewart there now, but again, you never know what's going to happen there. Another trade may be coming, cutting those guys, moving on from those guys. A lot is going to happen with the Indianapolis Colts. We told you guys about that for the offseason. We told you that would happen, and automatically you tag Daniel Jones, drama with Alec Pierce, and you trade Zaire Franklin. This is why you got to subscribe to Colts Talk. We are going to keep you updated on anything happening with this team for free. All you have to do is hit that sub button right now. We're a brand new channel, but we are racking up the subscribers because Colts fans want more content, and that's exactly what we are bringing you. Now, last little point I do want to make before we finish the video. Our last video we did the other day was talking about Alec Pierce, where the Colts are at with that. The big rumor right now, I do want to note, we have seen not back to the Colts right now is basically what we've seen from the situation with Alec Pierce and the Colts. It's a strong testing free agency vibe, finding a new team vibe. That's kind of the deal right now with the Colts, and they're trying to find their way, and they're trying to figure out a way to make things happen. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure where they're gonna find the way to get this done, and that tag, once they used it on Daniel Jones, they kind of let Alec Pierce go test the market. That's what happened with that. You get one tag, they used it on Jones, and it's clear they weren't close on an extension with Pierce, and now Pierce wants to test the free agency market, right? That seems to be the move now. So as far as Alec Pierce goes, it's really not good news. We're going to keep you updated on that. I'd be more than surprised now if he comes back as a Colt. I'm just being honest. It really seems like he's interested in free agency, finding a new team, and getting a lot of money, which I'm always if you guys know me, I'm always a get your money guy. There's only so long these guys can get their money in the NFL. So I'm sorry, but if Alec Pierce feels he needs to get his money in more than what the Colts are offering and more targets and bigger city, you got to do it. You got to do it. You hate to see that happen. Also, as far as replacing Zaire Franklin, I haven't seen a ton of great options, honestly, at linebacker to replace Zaire Franklin in the free agency market, right? So you'd immediately look at a guy like Tremaine Edmonds who got cut, but that's the same vibe, same age range, same productivity. The Colts are going to have to draft a linebacker, and I would think with that pick 47 is where they'll do it. I've seen Jake Golday as an option there, Jeremiah Trotter from Missouri is an option. I mean, they will have options at the linebacker spot at pick 47. Jake Golday is my dream pick there. But they're going to have to replace Zaire Franklin now. They're going to have to make a move to replace Zaire Franklin. And hey, if you're Chris Ballard, you keep reiterating younger and faster, put your money where your mouth is, buddy. Go get him. Go get him. Final question for you guys before we go. Name a player you want the Colts to sign in free agency. Maybe it's to replace Zaire Franklin. I know a lot of you love Trey Hendrickson. Free agency starts Monday. We're going to have all the coverage for you here on Colts Talk, but I want to hear from you guys. Name a player you want the Colts to sign in free agency. They're making moves. They're cutting costs. They're trying to, you're letting Alec Pierce go. It's looking like. And what is that for, right? Use that money for something. Go make something happen. We also expect more moves in the coming days, whether it be more today, and maybe we'll have to get you a short on that one or another video on that one, or Sunday or Monday or the next day. A lot is going to happen with the Indianapolis Colts. They are a very interesting team because they want to stay competitive. They've got Jones, Pierce, and now the Franklin trade they all had to take care of. They're taking care of them one by one. They still haven't taken care of Pierce, but we will see on that one. That is all here on Colts Talk. Glad to bring you guys breaking news. Zaire Franklin traded to the Green Bay Packers in exchange for Colby Wooden. Be sure to hit that sub button right now.